So something a lot of students ask me about is how to insert flams into your phrasing. Well, like anything with sticking, what you have to do is create some kind of a system to practice. So that's what we're going to tackle in this lesson. So if you want to supercharge your playing, think about subscribing to the channel. Okay, so we all know what a flam is, right? But for this lesson, the system I'm going to use is fliddles. Now, for those of you that don't know what a fliddle is essentially a flam tap. So it would be a right flam, right tap, or a left flam, left tap. Now, some of you might be turning around saying, well, isn't that the same thing as a cheese? Well, a cheese in rudimental drumming for the drum corps people is essentially the exact same sticking. So it's a diddle with a flam. But generally, a cheese is put into 1/16 note in terms of rhythm. So if you're playing this, and I was to cheese the accent, it'd be like that. So it'd basically be a flam with two 30-second notes. A fliddle usually talks about each note being its own 16th note. So the same idea in 16th notes would be like this. And again, from a rudimental standpoint, those would be called flam windmills, and for short, we call it the flam mill. So what I want to do to systemize this so we could use it around the kit is to apply a fliddle to each grouping of accents. So let's assume we're playing in 16 notes as a rhythm. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. So when I talk about groupings, I'm talking about 16 notes accenting every 2, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. Accenting every 3, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. Every 4, every 5, every 6, every 7, and every 8. And for today, we're just going to stop at 8. Now, as a disclaimer, of course, when you talk about sticking, there's always more than one way to skin a cat. So there's all kinds of ways to do this. So this is going to be my way of applying these fliddles to those groupings. So let's jump right into it, starting with groups of 2. And if we have 1 E and a 2 E and accenting every 2, adding fliddles to those accents would make them flam taps. And this is going to be one of the only versions of this sticking that's going to alternate back and forth. So that's going to be a right flam, right tap, left flam, left tap. Moving on, let's talk about groups of 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and. So if I have this grouping and I apply fliddles to it, we're going to have what's called a Swiss triplet. That sticking is going to be right flam, right hand, left hand. Or if you go lefty, left flam, left hand, right hand. Fliddle tap, fliddle tap, fliddle tap, fliddle tap. 1, 2, here we go. So it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a fliddle tap, fliddle tap, fliddle tap, fliddle tap, fliddle tap, fliddle tap, fliddle tap. Now notice this is all a righty lead, which means you can also turn around and do that in a lefty lead. Let's talk about a group of 4. So the sticking there is going to be right, left, right flam, right, left, left flam, left. And remember with the sticking on your flams, the higher stick dictates what kind of flam it is. So this would be a right flam. This would be a left flam. Even though the right hand is hitting second, it's still considered a right flam because that's the accent of the higher stick. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, now like I said before, this would be your flam mill, but an alternate name for it would be a parafliddle. So parafliddle, 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 parafliddle. Moving on, let's talk about groups of 5. So if groups of 4 are parafliddles, I like to call this one a parafliddle tap. So it's going to be right hand, right flam, right tap, left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Parafliddle tap, parafliddle tap, parafliddle tap. Let's do that in 16 notes in groups of 5. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 5 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 5 E and a 1. And just like the groups of 3, those are not going to alternate, so you can also play it with a lefty lead. Ready, go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 5 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 5 E and a 1. Next grouping is going to be a group of 6. These I like to call parafliddle diddles. I know that sounds tricky, but essentially it's like taking a paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, and flamming the first diddle. Parafliddle diddle, parafliddle diddle, parafliddle diddle, parafliddle diddle. Now for you jazz guys, you'll recognize this sticking because basically it's like playing the jazz beat with the right hand and then filling in all the end and nuz of the triplet with the left on the snare. So the sticking for the parafliddle diddle will be right, left, flam, tap, left, left. Right, left, right flam, right, left, left. Parafliddle diddle. Parafliddle diddle, parafliddle diddle, parafliddle diddle. Let's give that a shot in time. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and parafliddle diddle, parafliddle diddle, parafliddle diddle, parafliddle diddle. Now again, since that one does not alternate, you want to go ahead and play it lefty as well. 1, 2, ready, go. Parafliddle diddle, parafliddle diddle. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 1. Next grouping is going to be a group of 7. Now a group of 7 is going to essentially be what I like to call a para-para-fliddle tap. If you know anything about paradiddles in general, para is alternating hands, diddle is the same hand. So if you modify that and make it a fliddle instead of a diddle, that's how you get the name. So it sounds just like what it's called. Para-para-fliddle tap. Right, left, flam, tap, tap. Right, left, right flam, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Para-para-fliddle tap. And again, this one does not alternate. So we're going to do it right hand, then we're going to do it left hand. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 E and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1. Let's go ahead and do that with a lefty lead. 1, 2, ready, lefty. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1. Okay, for the final grouping, we're going to talk about groups of 8. So for a group of 8, we're just going to do a para-para-fliddle diddle. So it's like a para-para-diddle diddle, putting the flam on the first diddle. Right, left, right flam, right, left, left. Right, left, right flam, right, left, left. Let's give that one a try. 1, 2, ready, play. Para-fliddle diddle, para-para-fliddle diddle, para-para-fliddle diddle, para-para-fliddle diddle. Lefty, 1, 2, ready, go. Para-para-fliddle diddle, para-para-fliddle diddle, para-fliddle diddle, para-para-fliddle diddle. Now there's a couple of ways to practice this. You could take each sticking in each grouping and then just hold it, run it. Practice at different tempos, start at like 60, move it up 5 clicks, and keep on going until you get as fast as you can get it. That way you learn how to permutate it across the time, which is very valuable from an accenting standpoint. The other way you could practice it is to take it through the rhythm chart. So that means starting at 8th notes, because that's generally groups of 2, and moving all the way up to 32nd notes. But inserting this sticking. 1, 2, ready, go. Fliddle, 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 fliddle. Flam, tap, flam, tap. Next rhythm, here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and a. Here's your 8th note triplet. 1, 2, 16 notes. Here we go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 5lets. 1 E and a E 2 E and a E 3 E and a E 4 E and a 1 E and a E 2 E and a E 3. 16 triplets. 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet. 7lets. 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Para-para-fliddle tap, para-para-fliddle tap. 1 E and a end E and 2 E and a end E, 3 E and a end E and 4 E and a end E and 32nd notes. Para-para-fliddle diddle, para-para-fliddle diddle, para-para-fliddle diddle, para-para-fliddle diddle 1. So practicing it inside of each rhythm is also a great way to work on the sticking. Now the next thing I always tell my students whenever you practice some kind of a technique thing like this is to turn around after you've worked on it and just riff with it. Try to play trading fours, do whatever, and try to just move it around the kit. So what did you think about my solution for adding flittles to all the groupings and to the rhythm chart? Do you have a different system for adding flams to your stickings? If so, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Now, it's because of drummers like you that I'm able to go ahead and create videos like this. So if you got something out of the video, do me a favor and throw it a like. If you know any other drummers that you think might benefit from these type of lessons, feel free to share it. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to make sure you get access to the newest lessons as soon as they become available. And as always, every time you sit down to practice, remember to always practice with purpose. Let me know in the comment. Let me know in the comments so we can talk some fliddles.